Remember the last time you went to a friend's house to play a rousing game of cards? Remember that moment when you thought for sure you'd won and you put your cards down confidently on the table, only to find out that your friend plays by very different house rules than you do? Sheepishly, you took back your cards and realized not only were you not going to win this hand, but now you had a whole new set of house rules to learn. Well, working across child welfare and education systems is kind of like going to your friend's house to play a game of cards. You're playing the same game and you have the same end goal in mind, but you're playing by very different house rules. It's not a new story. Child welfare and education systems in this country are two complexly interrelated and yet traditionally very isolated systems. In other words, they play by very different house rules. Unfortunately, due to the very isolated nature of these two systems, children who receive child welfare services often fall through the cracks in school. These children sometimes face seemingly insurmountable barriers to academic success. In addition, professionals who work in and across these systems often face barriers in providing quality services for children and families. It's not a problem with an easy solution, but as with many aspects of life, relationships are key. Relationships are a cornerstone for effective collaboration. And we know that despite ever-present barriers, collaborations do exist. Thus, understanding how these collaborations are born, grow, and sustain is perhaps one piece of the complicated puzzle to improving academic success for children in child welfare. Some Minnesota child welfare and education professionals weighed in on this topic through a brief online survey in March of 2014. In this survey, professionals identified perceived barriers to collaboration and shared creative strategies for overcoming these barriers. Let's go through the results. 318 Minnesota professionals who worked with children in the child welfare system in either education settings or in county services completed this survey. 70% provided services in county settings and included people like social service providers, child protection workers, and case managers. 30% of respondents worked in school settings and included school social workers, teachers, counselors, and administrators. Over 50% of respondents have worked in their profession for 16 years or more. The highest percentage of respondents worked in metropolitan areas, followed by rural areas and then micropolitan areas. We were interested in exploring three main questions in this survey. The first question was, what are the barriers that you experience when working with professionals in the other system? 58% of school respondents indicated that they either agreed or strongly agreed with the statement, "I experience barriers in collaborating with professionals from the other system," compared to 43% of county professionals. These results indicate that in general, proportionally more school professionals reported experiencing barriers to collaboration compared with their county colleagues. Furthermore, when asked to indicate which barriers they experienced from a list of 13 items shown here, school professionals indicated that they experienced a greater number of barriers on average than county professionals. Thus, not only did school professionals indicate agreement with experiencing barriers at a higher rate than county professionals, they also identified a higher number of specific barriers that they experience in their work. We also expected that these different barriers might be more or less important to people. Thus, we asked survey respondents to rank the barriers they experienced from greatest to smallest impact on their ability to collaborate with professionals from the other system. We then examined which barriers were most frequently ranked first, indicating the greatest impact on collaboration. We again found differences between the systems. Overall, school professionals ranked time as the barrier that had the greatest impact on collaboration. However, county professionals ranked school professionals' knowledge of the county system as their greatest barrier for collaboration. Interestingly, some school professionals ranked their own lack of understanding of the county system as the barrier with the greatest impact on collaboration. This suggests that both county and school professionals think that when school professionals have a lack of understanding of the county system, it can be problematic for effective collaboration. In addition to examining differences across county and school systems, we were also interested in whether the geography of services was a significant factor in barriers to collaboration. The presumption was that service collaboration may be more or less difficult depending on the size of communities or the structure of services and staffing due to variations in the local tax base. Interestingly, there was a difference in the average number of barriers experienced by the respondent location. Respondents who indicated that they worked in a metropolitan county experienced more barriers than either their micropolitan or rural counterparts, with rural professionals experiencing the fewest number of barriers on average. This result is especially interesting as it suggests that though metropolitan areas may be comparatively more resourced, the size and complexity of those systems may pose challenges to effective collaboration. However, in more rural areas of the state, where there are small numbers of people working in county or education services, the collaboration barriers are fewer. The second question we were interested in exploring was, what are the factors that are important for successful collaboration across systems? Most county and school professionals indicated that they either agreed or strongly agreed that they were able to successfully collaborate with professionals from the other system. Again, respondents were asked to select which of the factors shown here were important in achieving successful collaboration. When asked to rank the factors that had the greatest impact on successful collaboration, school professionals indicated that the responsiveness of county professionals to communications had the greatest impact. County professionals, conversely, ranked having regular meetings with their clients as the factor with the greatest impact on successful collaboration. The third question we were interested in exploring was, what creative strategies do you use to achieve successful collaborations in the face of barriers? We provided survey respondents with an opportunity to share their unique ideas about how to best facilitate successful collaboration. Interestingly, 60% of county professionals and 63% of school professionals replied to this optional, open-ended question. This image on the screen here visually represents the frequency of words used in response to this question, with the larger words appearing more frequently in responses than the smaller words. So, in addition to the expected frequently mentioned words such as school, county, and professionals, it is interesting to note the words meetings, relationships, and communication all appear very frequently in survey responses as well. Furthermore, we conducted a thematic analysis of these qualitative responses. The primary themes that emerged included communication, geography, and structure. Respondents repeatedly addressed successful communication as a key for positive collaboration across systems. Some of the main ideas included regular team meetings. Whether it is meetings between school and county professionals or a meeting that includes everyone who's working with the child or family, the importance of regular meetings between staff was repeatedly mentioned as essential for effective collaboration. Flexibility. Professionals acknowledge that their colleagues may have different preferences for methods or timing of communication, email versus phone, daytime versus evening, and that being flexible to those needs is very important. Understanding and respect. Though frustrations often arise when working across systems, professionals indicated that they find collaboration works best when there is shared understanding and mutual respect for the complexity and challenges of these systems. Creating and leveraging relationships. Many professionals highlighted the importance of working to develop relationships with professionals from the other system. Professionals also emphasized the importance of developing relationships with administrative staff. In many cases, professionals emphasized that differences in creative strategies stemmed from geography. In other words, professionals from different parts of the state have access to different resources and thus use different strategies based on those geographical strengths and weaknesses. Main themes here included collaborative organizations. Many professionals indicated that they had access to collaborative organizations in their counties whose role was to convene meetings and provide support to the collaborative process. The do-it-all approach. Professionals from rural areas of the state emphasize that often in counties with smaller population and fewer resources, that professionals are called on to provide a multitude of services that might be outside the purview of a metropolitan service provider. Number of counties and districts served. Some respondents indicated that they faced unique challenges due to the sheer number of counties or school districts that they have to work with on a regular basis, due to the structure of county lines and school districts. Survey respondents discussed the ways in which they dealt with the policies and procedures of the two systems that interfere with collaboration. Main ideas here were data sharing agreements. Many professionals indicated one of the necessary features of effective collaboration was obtaining a signed consent form from the parent that allowed professionals to share information about the student openly. Role of professional as trainer. Many professionals from both county and school services expressed that they often were put in the role of educating the other service provider about their own system and their role in the case at hand. Other professionals talked about the value of workshops and trainings to expand their understanding of their own and the other system. Native American community. The collaboration between Native American Reservation Human Services and the County Human Services can be strained due to the manner in which the scope and authority of these systems were established. These barriers to collaboration have led to concerns about cultural insensitivity with respect to family needs. In conclusion, one professional put it best, saying, "When children and families know that the county worker and I are on the same team and we're all out for the best interest of the child, it seems to have a positive impact on outcomes." So what did we learn? Well, clearly in many parts of the state, collaborations do exist, even in spite of the barriers that professionals face on a daily basis. But now we're left with the question, so what now? How do we foster better collaborations across these systems in order to improve the lives of children and families? Well, we want to know what you think. If you're watching this before August 31st of 2014 and are a child welfare or education professional in Minnesota and want to add your voice to the conversation, click the link in the description below to sign up to participate in a paid focus group on this topic. You can also find a link to the full report of these survey findings in the description section below if reading is more your thing. Can't make it to a focus group? Tell us in the comment section down below whether what we found fits with your own experience of working with professionals across systems and what your creative strategies are for building better collaborations. And lastly, from all of us here at the Extension Children, Youth and Family Consortium, thanks for all that you do for children and families.